Right, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here to recap Queen Sugar Season 2, Episode 10, which was titled Drum of Dusk. So the show opens with Ralph Angel stopping by the High Yellow to talk to Aunt Vi, and so she lets him know about a counseling ministry that they have at her church, and she's talking about how these young people are getting married and it's not lasting long, and so she thinks that Ralph Angel and Darla, could benefit from it. But Ralph Angel takes the information, but we already know he ain't about that life. So then, after Ralph Angel leaves, this white guy comes in and he says he's looking for, Violet Baudelaire. And so she's like, well, why you looking? I was treating the man like he was a bill collector. She was about to tell him that she was who he was looking for. So then the guy lets her know that he owns this chain of restaurants. I think they have I can't remember if he said it was 9 restaurants or 17 restaurants. But anyway, he owns these restaurants. And so Aunt Vi was letting him know, oh, I'm real familiar with that. And you guys, your double coupon day is really great idea. And so the guy's like, oh yeah, I came up with that concept. And then he says, I have another concept, and then he tells her that, he heard about the pies and he wants to bring them into the supermarket. So of course, I let him know who she is at that point. So he gives her a contract that he done wrote up. He wants 350 pies per week, and he's willing to give her a $50,000 advance. So I was like, well, go ahead on that. You might be able to quit the High Yellow, leave them high and dry. But then again, she might need the High Yellow kitchen to bake her pies in. But Aunt Vi was like, whoa. So then she goes over to Charley's office, to talk to her about it. But when she gets there, Miss Lorna is sitting at the desk. So I guess Miss Lorna ain't going nowhere. She's going to be there a while. And then I got to thinking after I did the recap for the last episode, maybe Lorna is somehow related to the Landrys some kind of way. I don't know. It's just because Aunt Vi didn't seem to be too happy that Lorna was there. And she told Lorna, she's like, we had an agreement, that you wasn't to come back to St. Joe, you weren't supposed to come back to St. Josephine. And then she's talking about, how, Nova and Ralph Angel just lost their father, and that was just going to be opening up a new wound by her being there. And I'm thinking, I think it's been a while since Ernest passed away. It ain't like he died last week or died, and these ain't little kids, and although they're still hurt by the loss of their father, the fact that Charley's mom there shouldn't be that devastating to them. And could they really be that selfish that they don't want Charley's mom to come and visit Charley? They just seem kind of crazy to me. But Lorna was holding her ground, and she was basically telling them that the only reason she's there is because her daughter and her grandson is there, and that Aunt Violet needs to get over herself, and Nova and Ralph Angel going to have to get over it also because she is there. There ain't nothing they can do about it. So I said, okay, go ahead on, Miss Lorna. Aunt Violet came across that desk and whooped your behind. So Charley's at home when her mom comes in, and she done bought these little ugly pillows, and I'm thinking, okay, now Lorna, if this is your idea of competing with Davis, then we might have a problem because them pillows was not cute. And so then she looks over at Charley because Charley wasn't paying no attention to the pillows. And she's like, are you still dwelling on that will? When you got the sugar mill that's worth more than the farm is worth. But then Charley lets her know that the farm was a big part of the plan. And we have a scene where Charley is at a bridal shop, and then Darla comes out with a gown on, so they're shopping for wedding gowns. And I'm thinking, okay, you just got engaged. It's gonna be like a quick wedding that's going on. So Darla tells Charley, to be honest with her about the dress that she has on. So then Charley shares a story about when her and Lorna had went looking for her wedding dress, and that her mom was so honest, and she told her that she looked pregnant in the dress, and she was like, and the reason I look pregnant is because I was. And so she lets Darla know that when her and Davis got married, she was already pregnant, but that they didn't get married because she was pregnant, that they really were in love with each other, but that didn't matter to her mother. You know, it was still an embarrassment to her. And then she tells Darla, you know, that if she didn't think that the dress was beautiful, that she would tell her. And so then Darla breaks down and tells her, you know, tells Charley that it's been years since she's talked to her mom, and that she called and got the answering machine, but, you know, and left a message, but they haven't called her back. And she says that, you know, all her life she just wanted to please her mom and make her mom happy. And she thought, you know, by sharing this news with them, that they would see that, you know, she finally got her life together and things are turning around. And, you know, that she was just, you know, she just didn't want her parents to be embarrassed of her. So, you know, Charley tells her that she doesn't know why the mom and dad haven't returned the phone calls, but even if Darla never hears from them again, that she has family with Ralph, Angel, and Blue, and then, you know, the extended family with Aunt Vi and all of them. But I'm thinking it's still not the same. Like, if your parents are still alive and they're not talking to you, that's like a hurt that's really unexplainable, Charley. And no matter how much y'all surround Darla and are good to Darla, if that's a longing that she has, then she needs to deal with that. And personally, I don't understand why Darla ain't got in the car and went to her mom and them house yet. Because I've been them rolled up. Remember how Kenya on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya went over to her mama's house, knock, 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 and then started yelling through the door when the mama went to answer the door. Darla, you need to take a lesson from Kenya's lesson book and go knock on your mama's door and ask her what her damn problem is. When Charley leaves Darla, she goes over to Sam Landry's house, and so there was some meeting called the Sugar Society or something, but she got the information late, or they didn't tell her about the information and she just heard about it. But she rolled up over there, you know, like Darla needed to roll up on her parents. And so Sam Landry's being all nonchalant, and Charley's telling him, you know, well, you need to learn about technology and learn about email, and do you need me to set you up an email list so everybody gets the invite? And then it was a black lady there, and I couldn't figure out if she was the housekeeper or who she was. And then Sam Landry's secretary was there. So he tells Charley, you know, the meeting is pretty much over, and that they were just getting ready to go over, I guess they had like a pageant, so like a cotillion, but it's for girls in the community, and it's called the Sugar Queen, something, some kind of craziness they had going on. So he told Charley she was more than welcome to sit down. So then when the secretary started going over the minutes and talking about people that they have recommended to be the Sugar Queen, Charley says, oh, you know, you should check out, telling them about KeKe. So then the secretary cut Charley off real quick and told her that ain't how they do things there, and maybe she needs to shut up and sit back and listen so she can find out how they do things there. And I was just like, oh. But Charley looked at her and looked at the black woman. The black woman was looking embarrassed for her. I said, oh my God, now this is just going to be real interesting. So then Charley goes home, and then when Lorna comes in, you know, she asks Charley how was her day. And so she lets Charley know that she went over her business plan and that there's no way that, you know, she could be profitable only working with black farmers. So Charley explains that none of the white farmers wanted to work with her. And Lorna is like, girl, you need to change the way things are done. You know, not just go along to get along and forget about the color divide, because at the end of the day, all these people understand is green. So I was like, nah, Charley, your mama know how her people think, and that is all they think about. So you go on over there and offer them like a 10% discount from what the Landry's is charging, or give them better benefits to working with you, because I think it was like a 60-40 split with the Landry's, or the other people, the Bordeaux or whatever the guy name is. Charley, then you need to do a 50-50 split, or turn it around and get the farmers the 60%, or however they had it. I think it was the farmers got 60 and the Bordeaux got 40%. So then, yeah, Charley, you do like 50-50, they'll come on over to the Queen Sugar and give you a chance if they think they're going to make more money. And Lorna lets her know that Aunt Vi stopped by to pay her a visit, and Charley looking like, ah, damn. Like I ain't told Aunt Vi that you was even in town, and now she done found out. So then Charley goes to visit Aunt Vi and apologize for not telling her that Lorna was there. But the real reason that she was there was she wanted to, tell her how she was treated by the Landrys and how she had to sit there and be quiet because she didn't want to come across as the angry black woman stereotype. So Aunt Vi lets her know that, she's her own woman and she can do as she pleases without anyone's permission, and that she has Micah who's looking up to her, and that she just got to handle her business and do what's best for her. So then Charley asks, why did she come by the mill? And Aunt Vi tells her that she wanted to tell her about the offer, so she gets the contract that the supermarket guy gave her, so Charley could look over it. Then we move over to Miss Nova. So Nova and Sierra, remember she was the friend that had the twins, so they're out in this field setting up for something Nova was getting ready to do, and I guess they had to clean the field up before they could have the meeting or whatever it was. So then they were doing something, I think it was going to be like a event, talking about Zika or raising awareness of funds or something for Zika. Or maybe they're going to do testing. I can't remember what they were doing. But anyway, Mr. Robert Dubois walks up. And so for the first time, he's bringing some water. And then for the first time, it seems like Nova lets her guard down and alludes to the fact that they're a couple. And then Sierra tells Nova, after he walks away, telling me, girl, let me find out you done got you a unicorn. And I'm just like, did we just hear Mary Jane refer to Justin being Mary Jane when she said Justin was like her black unicorn? Y'all gonna keep it up. But anyway, so then Robert calls Nova and he tells Nova that he got her a interview. Y'all can tell I be trying to write and type. This is why it be taking me a long time to do these recaps, because when I try to do it right after the show, I'm taking notes while I'm watching the show. I be forgetting things, and then I have to watch the show over, but I'm trying to get better about it. And I can't remember what he told her, that she either had an interview or a speaking engagement that he had done, or maybe he was the one that had the, anyway. He let her know about something that was important that was a result of her writing this article. So then Nova shares with him, what happened with Micah, and says that she feels like she's failing her family. And that was something that I forgot to point out in the last night's episode, was that Nova just kind of feels lost at the moment, like she's kind of just disconnected, and the whole thing with Ralph Angel and the will was just like the final straw that just like really took her out. And so she's kind of like sharing that with him, and says that because of what happened and the way she's feeling now, she doesn't want to have any kids. And so he shares with her that he feels the same way, and he starts talking about his family and how, when he was growing up, they were instilling in him about, you're supposed to get married and start a family, and that's what we were created to do. But he says that, why can't they understand that the work that he does is God's work, and that was God's plan for him to be here. And so the next thing I know, him and Nova in bed together, and they making all sweet, passionate love and everything. I'm like, go ahead on, that's right here, y'all make a baby up there. And so it was just very sensual and just totally different from when Nova be having random sex with the white guys, which I'm happy to say she hasn't done in a while. And so then the following day, when he gets ready to leave because he had to go to a conference, he, lets Nova know that he really enjoyed her company. And then Nova's supposed to be going to Atlanta, and he gives her a set of keys to his apartment and tells her, when she get there, just go ahead and let herself in. So after he leave, Nova go back in the house and close that door, and she looking at the keys like, what I done got myself into? Like, this thing is moving too fast. This is too serious, and I'm just not sure I'm ready to release and, give myself 100% to this relationship. So at the cleanup or whatever Nova was doing out there in that field, Micah and KeKe showed up, and so I was surprised that KeKe had never met Nova before. So I guess I just be assuming some things be done took place. But KeKe, lets Nova know that she's heard a lot about her and she's real impressed with her and everything. So after working with Nova, they head over to Davis's place. So then KeKe said, "Oh, I just feel dirty, like I want to take a shower." And then Mr. Micah gets all up into himself. He says, and I forgot that Micah was banging that white girl out in California, so he might be a little more experienced than KeKe. So he tells KeKe, "Well, why don't we go take a shower together?" And I'm like, "Micah, what you know about taking a shower with some little girl?" But KeKe pumped his brakes and let him know that she was still a virgin. She wasn't trying to have sex with him, that she liked him and everything, but they wasn't sleeping together. She wasn't ready to give up her virginity because she's about her books or her education so she can go on to college and do what she needs to do in her life. So then Micah, he was apologizing, telling her, he wasn't trying to rush her and he wants to do whatever she wants to do and that she could still go take the shower and that they could hang out together and that, he'll wait and let her tell him when he's ready. And I'm sitting there like, boy, did she just tell you that she ain't ready now and she ain't going to be ready for a while because she about her business, she about her education. But I said, okay, Michael, you just getting a little too grown for me. But I like how they threw in the little consent thing, like, let it be KeKe's decision when they have sex. So, after they take their showers and everything, presumably separately, KeKe was doing something to her hair, and Michael tried to touch her hair, and she was like, "I don't like when people touch my hair." But then Michael, he said he want to help her. So then KeKe called herself teaching Michael how to braid her hair. And Michael said he had the grabs of it, and KeKe said that it looked good, but it looked like a mangled mess to me, but I still thought it was cute that he wanted to braid his baby hair, because I know I love myself some KeKe. KeKe, my girl, and Michael, you hold on to KeKe, because I be living for these moments when KeKe be on this TV show, so I was happy to see them bring her back. So then Micah goes home and tells Charley, that KeKe told him about Nova's project and that's where he was at. So, because Charley was like, "Oh, you was with your Aunt Nova." So, he lets her know that wasn't his intention. KeKe brought it up. And so he's saying that, KeKe's so smart and how she saved the day and everything turned out great. So then Charley brings up about that Sugar Queen pageant thing. And then Micah says, "Oh, yeah, KeKe applies for that every year, even though she know they ain't gonna never choose her or they never respond back to her." So, he then shares, how much he likes KeKe and, that's his girl. And so then Charley, I think at that moment, came up with this bright idea and tells him that she done decided that the Queen Sugar Mill is going to hold its own Sugar Queen pageant. And so I guess she gonna make and it might not even be a pageant. I keep calling it a pageant, cause it sounds like they just select the girl who is gonna get whatever it is that they give to them. But anyway, Charley says she gonna do her own so that she can recognize KeKe. So then we move over to Darla and Ralph Angel, and y'all know it wasn't going to take long for Ralph Angel to show his behind. So they were at Darla's trailer, clearing all her stuff out so she could move in with him in blue. And I don't understand why she had to move in with him in blue, why she could just keep her trailer until it's time to get married. Because I'm telling y'all from personal experience, shaking up don't make it better, because when me and my daughter's father was about to get married, I let him move in, so I could have more money for the wedding. And let me tell y'all something, I don't know if it was an eye-opener or what, and I think I might even mentioned it in a previous recap or video that I did, where I saw some sides of him that let me know that wasn't the person I was going to spend the rest of my life with. But then on the flip side, had we not lived together and just went ahead and got married, and I learned those things about him, then I may have been willing to work with him and help break those little characteristics, like things that were just gnawing at me that I think a man should know and that a man should do and take responsibility for. Like I had to constantly be telling him, you need to call the people to come fix this. You need to take the garbage out. You need to don't take my car, because I think the final straw for me was my car broke down while I was out at lunch, and so I called AAA, got the car back to my job, and then I called him to take it to the shop. And so he came and got the car, took it to the shop, and then he came back and handed me the estimate. It was like, oh, they say it's going, this is what's wrong and this is how much it's going to cost. And then he just left. And I'm thinking like, you ain't tell the man to fix the car. Like, why are you bringing me back a broke car? And so that just let me know. It was like, that was just one of several things that he did where I felt like I'm still doing the things and making the same decisions that I would have been doing and making had I still been single. So why do I need to get married and still have to make those same decisions? So, Darla, you probably should have stayed in your apartment and found out what Ralph Angel was really about. So Ralph Angel, Darla had told him that she wanted to put a swing on the porch. And so then Ralph Angel kind of like looked at her funny. And then she was like, you know, she caught the little look. And then he was like, oh, you already trying to make changes. And so she was kind of like taking her back like I was taking her back. And then he tried to brush it off and was like, well, it's your house too. And you should make it your home. So yeah, we can put the swing on the porch. So then she sees the flyer that Aunt Vi gave him, you know, for the counseling and thinks that, you know, it's a good idea. But then Ralph Angel, you know, he's against it. And he was talking about, you know, what can a priest tell him about being a husband? And at first I was like, well, I think he could tell you a lot about being a husband. And then I was like, okay, did he say priest or did he say preacher? Because if he said priest, then, you know, the priest can't get married. So maybe that's why he said it. But anyway, Ralph Angel, you don't know everything, and y'all could make do with some of this counseling that's going on. And I don't know too many preachers that marry people. At least back in the day, they wouldn't even marry you unless they had you gone through their counseling sessions and they thought that you were a good fit. So then they go to the store, to the gas station. So Ralph Angel's putting gas in the car. Darla goes inside. So when she comes out, it was some guys that were also getting gas. So one of the guys come over. He was like, Star, hey, Star. And then Darla saw her walking fast. She was like, oh, that's not my name. My name is a Star. And he was like, girl, I remember you. So he remembered Darla back when she was out there walking them streets with drugs. So Darla, you know, hurry up and get over there. So Ralph Angel looking. And I say Ralph Angel talk all that trash. But a real man, if he had saw another man harassing his woman, would have went over there and stepped to that man. But Ralph Angel wasn't trying to do any of that. So then they get in the car and Darla looking all hurt and she looking out the window. And Ralph Angel sitting there looking in the rearview mirror at the guy. But he still ain't going over there and ask the guy, why you talking to my woman? But then he's, you know, asked Darla, well, who was that? You know, and so then Darla, you know, was like, oh, he mistook me for someone else, you know, but he got that little jealous rage in his eyes. And I'm like, oh, boy. So then later on, they're at home and here come Blue with that damn fake angel, that fake Kenya doll bouncing around. I'm like, I thought we threw that doll away. But then I remember they bought the little substitute. But I thought Blue didn't want the substitute. He wanted the real Kenya doll. But I guess he done got used to this Kenya doll. So then, you know, they're bouncing around and he's talking to Darla. And, you know, are you really moving in? And all this stuff. So then they had some quilts or something that they had made of like a little teepee, a little tent out of, and they had like Christmas lights stringing all around it. And then Blue had a flashlight, so they're all under the little tent talking and stuff. So at first I was thinking, is the light still out? But then I said, okay, well, if they got the Christmas tree lights out, then that means that they got power somewhere and the lights plugged in. But then Ralph Angel still in a funk, and so Blue asked, you know, was it true that Darla will always be there with him? You know, so Darla says yes, but then Ralph Angel was kind of hesitant. He still had that evil, jealous look in his eyes. So then finally he was like, yeah, but he wasn't sounding too convincing about it. Afterward, you know, after they put Blue to bed and they're in bed together, and so Darla, you know, it's kind of tense, ain't neither one of them sleep, and they got their backs to each other, and Darla thinking like, damn, this is my first night in the house and we already fighting. So then she calls Ralph Angel out, you know, for the way that he's acting, and he brings up the guy from the gas station. Darla said, you know, she knew that he was going to judge her and never let her live her past down. She wants to forget, you know, that part of her life and move on, and for Ralph Angel, you know, to accept her for who she is right now and all the work that she's done to change her life. But Ralph Angel said he just can't get past the fact that she was whoring to get her. And I was just like, boy, did you really say this to this girl? And so then she brings up the fact that, he was stealing credit cards, and then he lets her know that it was different because she was sleeping with men for money to buy her drugs, but he was stealing people's credit cards in order to take care of him and Blue. And then he tells Darla that she was selfish and all she ever do is think about herself. And I'm just like, okay, I know I said all this about Ralph Angel, but to actually see it playing out and the way that he acted, I'm just like, boy, you really need to check yourself. So then Darla says that, she's not going to live her life trying to prove to him that she's changed. And I'm like, dang, on her first night in the house, she ended up sleeping on the couch. I'm like, if this ain't for nothing. And so that was pretty much the end of the show. But did you guys see Ralph Angel on the Wendy Williams show? And he was saying how he used to be an overweight kid, and it really messed with his self-esteem, and like now being on Queen Sugar and getting the movie role in Girls Trip, that is helping him deal with his self-esteem issues. But he's not there yet, and he's saying like his 5-year goal is to be in a relationship and to start a family and everything. And I was like, okay, no wonder he can play that role so good, because that's really who he is as a person. So whatever woman he ends up, he seems to be infatuated with Issa Rae, but whoever he ends up with, girl, you better take notice that this boy might have some serious issues. So that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Leave your comments below. Rate the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video on Twitter, Facebook, and your other social media platforms. And until the next time, I should talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.